Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Let's take another look here at Bitcoin. 102,000 and some change. This is awesome stuff. Came right up to this 0.618, 0.65, basically a golden pocket, and tentatively rejecting out there, but we're over 100,000. That's the important thing. We do got to recognize previously we had a previous support about 101.5, 101.3, right in that range. So we may see the price kind of hang out here and take off again, but the next logical place in which the price should retest is 100,000, just being that psychological support. So just keep in mind that's kind of where my mind's at right now, but it doesn't necessarily mean that after this analysis that's going to be the truth. So we're going to double check a few things, but we got a lot of buying pressure here. High volume candles here last 3 hours straight. We take a quick look here at our premium group here. We can kind of see it because I actually have notifications set for unusual buying activity. We can see $1.3 billion purchased in 15 minutes, basically just under 15 minutes, to pump the price action up. So again, this happens a lot, folks. It's a very common occurrence for the price action to obviously take off after a very strong amount of buying pressure. So U.S. markets opened and the price takes off. It's generally a good sign here for the moment. Ideally, we have sustainability there. So let's take a look at liquidation, kind of see what's going on, take it from there. And if you are new to the channel, I always like to look at liquidation first, just to kind of get a baseline on where there's a lot of leverage, because unfortunately high leverage is really the main reason why the price action moves the way that it does. And it's absolutely a very real thing. So we're going to take a look at that. And thanks again for always hitting the like button, commenting below if you get a chance. Love to hear your thoughts, and welcome aboard if you are again new to the channel. And thank you so much if you've been part of my life for the last 3.5, coming up on 4 years here in April. Awesome stuff. Has been a great experience. Keep in mind, I've been trading for over 20 years, but 4 years in the YouTube space, and it's been a lot of fun. So thanks again. Okay, 103,000 is that upper area of liquidation. We can kind of see there's big chunks here. Each one of these red bars is about $1 billion in liquidation. So we could see another push up to about 103. Or sometimes this happens, the price action pulls back to local resistance, such as 100,000, and essentially pivots from there and comes back up to sweep this level too. So it seems like it's becoming almost an inevitability that we're going to hit those levels. So if you look at the macro here too, I talked about this on Saturday, that this $100,000 mark, at 100.3, is a firm or distinct probability. Okay. Again, the longer we spend in that range of 98 to 100,000, the more likely we are to break through. So now that we're above that, we could very well see the price pull back just to retest that local high, but there's a lot of volume flowing in, and with volume comes great responsibility. Just kidding. Truth is, with a lot of volume comes great sustainability, more so. And the likelihood of the price coming back down is actually lower right now, okay? Because again, there's a lot of money that just came pumping into Bitcoin. Having said that, though, we look at this here. Look at the liquidation delta. We went from 3 billion to 6 billion, basically telling us that there are a lot of longs in the market right now, and trying to short against this is a bad idea. So if you're going to do anything, consider waiting for a better entry, if that even happens, versus trying to short into that. Okay, a lot of folks seem to think that you can only trade in two directions. The truth is, you can trade in the same direction multiple times. You just got to wait for it. Okay, and that's generally the favorable thing to do, is to wait for a better long in a bullish uptrend like we're in right now, than it is to try to short into it and be like one of those really super cool dudes that posts on social media how fantastic you were with a 100x leverage trade at 102,000. Come on. Anyways. I'm more so referring to the shorts right now. Anyone trying to short right now, it's just kind of a stupid idea. There's no other way around it. Okay. So having said that, though, we can see just kind of based on local open interest, a lot of people are heavy at about this 98.5 mark. And as I mentioned previously, that's a solid area of support. So 98 to 100,000 was that little channel there. It broke free. We got some late longs at 99,900, okay, or 99.7 rather. Which has been previously a resistance level. So it makes perfect sense that folks are buying in right there. So that's kind of what the back end looks like. Okay, now the daily time frames rather, we'll look at that here in a minute. Let's look at the weekly time frame first and kind of go from there. So let's take a quick peek here. So weekly time frame, we are in a position right now where we're in very good shape with the moving averages, right? There's no, it's going to be a while before we actually have like, a potential bearish scenario here on the weekly. Because again, most everything's looking very bullish. We're going to see we're testing 70 again in the RSI, stochastic swinging up, money flow index is high. Like everything is where it needs to be here. So for all those people that are saying that we're going to see 70,000 range again, I think that's possible, but it's a very slim possibility right now. It's going to take a while to get there. There's just too much buying pressure in the 90K range. There's just no other way around it. So keep in mind, while it is definitely a possibility, the probability is fairly low. Okay, so just know that. Having said that, though, doesn't mean that can't still change. There's a lot of fundamental catalysts that can like spur that direction to happen. The world is a crazy place, and we never truly know what will occur. And those are usually the catalysts that push the price action down for Bitcoin a lot more aggressive than they should. Having said all that, minus a fundamental catalyst, we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're about 7, 8 days in a continuation here, depending on how you count it out. We have basically 7 or 8 green candles or 5 on TD sequential, letting us know that we're approximately halfway through this continuation. That's not super relevant, just something that's important to recognize that, what goes up must come down. I'm not saying we're going to see the price pull back now that we're above a key level resistance, but we do need to recognize that, we're getting closer, so to speak, to the top of this short-term push. However, more of a macro perspective here, which we're seeing here on the daily, is looking very good. We're over 50 on the RSI. We can see stochastics, while it's topping out, we may see a slight retracement or consolidation here. We can see money flow index is right there with it. MACD is converging. There's a tremendous amount of things here as to why you don't short this coin and you absolutely consider longs. And again, we got a lot of convergence here too. Look at this point of control, 97,300, and both moving averages of 50 and the 20-day SMA. My favorite SMAs, by the way, are kind of giving us that convergence here, letting us know, hey, we are not letting the price coming down below 97K. So if you're going to consider a long position and you have the risk tolerance effectively in place, a stop loss below that level would make a lot more sense, right? Don't put your stop just under 100,000, because a lot of times when those levels are retested, you'll see a quick wick down, the price goes back up again. Okay, so we can take a look at, let's do this here really quick. We're going to look at the last 12 hours of liquidation and just kind of see if there's any incentive for the price to maybe pull back or go down. Because that is an important thing to recognize too, because a lot of times the price can in fact shift gears, and if we see something there, which really not a lot, unfortunately. I mean, it's actually more fortunate, but you can see there's a little bit of liquidation here at the $100,000 mark, but a lot more at 102.5 to 103. So it does seem more sensible for the price to go up than it would go down here moving forward. 4-hour time frame. Let's see what's going on here. This is a time frame in which I like to kind of get confirming factors for transitions. We can see there's a pretty chunky fair value gap there as low as 99.7. So once more, I think 99.7 is a distinct possibility that we see that retrace to, but at this exact moment, we may not see it, just based on the simple fact that everything's looking pretty darn bullish. We got a massive injection of volume, okay? Again, shorting to that level, bad idea. Maybe a secondary or primary entry target at 99.7 to 100,000. That does seem logical to me. All that being said, we can take a look here. We're over 70 in the RSI. All the more reason to not short into this and to keep your long position open if you have one. Stochastics diverging a little bit. I'm not worried about that. MACD is still converging. There's basically 9 out of 10 reasons here to just hold on to your long or to consider a long versus taking a short. Hourly is going to probably confirm the exact same thing, which it does. We are firmly above the cloud, lagging spans free and clear, conversion lines over the baseline. So we've pretty much just reaffirmed and reiterated the fact that Bitcoin's still bullish. We have this bullish flag I talked about on Saturday that was playing out. While it didn't break out massively, they don't always do that. It did effectively run range bound and then continued higher from there, right? So you can kind of actually see the price action working itself into more of a bullish rectangle here, if you will. Again, it takes time to see those kind of things occur, and half the time, by the time you see them, they're already done. But the truth is, you don't trade patterns specifically, but the patterns in conjunction with bullish trends and a bullish pattern combined, that's generally a favorable situation, okay? So again, hindsight's 20/20, of course. I'm not saying that I called the price to break out this fast, but I do think that it made sense for the price to continue higher. Now that we're above 100,000, we're gonna have to presume that 100,000 and 98,000 is a solid support range for us, okay? So again, we saw a lot of buying pressure at the 98K range, and of course, 100,000 is that psychological resistance and or support. So that's kind of where we're at there. I would say mostly great stuff. Are you going to go balls to the wall with longs here today? With altcoins, I wouldn't necessarily say that. Bitcoin dominance is increasing while alts are increasing too. A lot of them will probably taper off, is my speculation, but it's too early to tell. Let's quickly look and see if there's any CME gaps, which I don't necessarily see any there. So pretty much standard stuff here, folks. Potential retrace to 100,000. Perhaps even a good, nice secondary entry target there for you if you're already in. And then I would say the likelihood of further upside makes a lot more sense. We're going to go ahead and post playout chart on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. Future reference, if the price does continue higher based on macro fib levels, 104 to 105K range will probably be that next area of resistance. I would say more so 105, if I recall correctly. That was kind of one of those support ranges for us previously. Anyways, I'll update the playout chart, post that shortly here on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. Be sure you check out Bitunix, folks. These guys are phenomenal. They've got a new campaign here for, what is it, Rolex, MacBook Pro. It's kind of fun. I mean, just use the exchange as you normally would. I don't want you to try to incentivize yourself to trade more because of that. But the truth is, these are like easy little benefits and bonuses. So check them out. But no KYC or VPN exchange. They are phenomenal. They've been great to our community. I think they're awesome. So appreciate y'all. Hope you all have a good rest of your day. We'll see you in tomorrow's video again. Once more, have a good one. Thanks again. Bye-bye.